Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok 2022. We are back again with DavidTKI, who has another Quest for Glory run for us. So this is Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire. And David, please tell us a little bit about this run.
I can't keep getting away with this. I mean, Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire. This is going to be kind of a fun run. Most of the Quest for Glory community usually runs the fan remake by AGD Interactive, but over the past year we've been devoting a lot of time to the original game, so I'm pretty excited to show this off. I believe the category is 100% as a fighter, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that's good, because that is the most difficult and most RNG prone of the main categories, so this is going to be pretty difficult, but it's also my favorite, so I'm glad to be doing this. We didn't have a naming incentive. This was a backup run, so I'm just filling in here, so I think I should just pull some random name out, maybe one that I didn't use earlier today. That sound fine?
Sure thing. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Then I'm going to pick one that's especially relevant for this game. Turning isn't walking. I'll try to explain what that's about later, but for starting stats, you need minimum 50 dodge, 5 magic, then you stick the rest somewhere useful. I've stuck it into weapon use. So let's go ahead and start it in 3, 2, 1, go. Turn the speed up, detail down. I'm going to run, set the difficulty to hardest, and go straight to the desert. A fighter is required to fight every single random encounter in the desert, so I'm going to go ahead and go there immediately and look for a brigand because they have cash on their corpses when they are killed. Save scum here because when you enter the desert, a countdown starts, but once it hits 0, the monster spawns. So if you save right before the timer hits 0, you can manipulate RNG to get the result that you want. We'll go ahead and... That's not good. Oh well. You get a little bit of cash, and that's going to help. So, turning isn't walking. Well, in most of these Sierra games, there's a lot of scripts that will have a hands-off kind of thing, where it will stop you from walking and then execute the script. But in this game, you turn before you start running, so turning isn't walking. So if you happen to be in the middle of turning while a script happens, then some funny stuff can happen, like right here. I phased right through the wall.
No big deal. Wait, can I ask one question, though?
Yes.
Is this town full of cat merchants?
Yes! This town is full of cat merchants. This is the hometown of the Kata people, and they are happy to make a living selling you stuff. They've actually been driven out of their hometown of Razir, which we will be going to at some point within the game to actually deal with the tyrannical government that has taken over that place. In the meantime,
we're gonna liberate the cat people?
We are going to liberate the cat people.
Oh my god, I'm so down.
Yeah, perfect game already.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Oopsie. So anyways, the category is 100%, and if you can see at the upper bar, there's a point total that is ticking up as I play through the game. 100% involves finding all the things that tick that point counter up and then finishing with the full 500 points. Except that since this is Quest for Glory 2, it's actually possible to become a paladin at the end of the game, and there are 50 hidden paladin points. So as a fighter, you must become a paladin and find all 50 hidden paladin points. I'll go ahead and save here. In the meantime, Shapir is being attacked by the 4 elementals, so we're going to have to capture them on specific days, usually just solving the specific puzzle. A lot of these events are timed for specific days, and we've routed this in a very specific way to try to group as many activities together as possible. Like, for example, on day 7, getting the reward for saving the... Oh, that's not points. Getting the reward for saving the city from the fire elemental. While we are out here, we're also going to go ahead and shop for the things we need to deal with the other elementals. A cloth bag here, and then a couple of water skins for safety. We also have to wrestle with this guy who is basically toxic masculinity in a person, but we're going to beat him at his own game. In the AGD Interactive Remake, you need to grind your stats way up in order to be able to beat him, but in this version, if you up the pressure before he's really expecting it, then you can beat him before he starts. On day 7, the poet Omar is here at the fountain telling a poem, and we do have to wait out this entire thing before we get 3 points for listening to his speech, but also because he will accidentally leave his purse behind. This does take about a minute or so, so Scala, I'll turn it over to you for a bit.
I just want to read the poem.
Sure.
He will face the fiercest foe when another needs his aid. He will dare to defy death even though he is afraid. He works not just for glory, and he does not work for gain, but because he knows that others will be a shared pain. He won't always follow orders, for he dares to ask why. And unless he likes the reason, he refuses to comply. He will brave the battle boldly, even though he may not win. He will face his fate unflinching, for he is a paladin.
Not yet. End of the game.
Not yet. Gotta get your job class change.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they ask, what is a hero? Even though the answer is evident, he is the one who faces death, knowing that his life's well spent.
Awesome. That was an excellent reading. Thank you. And I have to wait for this text box to go away before I move on with day 9 when the air elemental appears. I don't think I pre-typed my input, so let's go ahead and safety save, toss mud, right into the funnel. And it's actually possible to do that even if your throwing skill is 0. So throwing the mud directly into the wind elemental's funnel is the fastest way to get it. I'll go ahead and type my name here. Turning isn't walking. It is indeed a name for heroes. Normally, we don't actually type out our correct name there. A wrong answer will also be fine. But I just kind of wanted to I don't know, have my name mean something.
Also, very quickly, I would like to welcome in our wonderful raiders from Keys of Hannah. Hello, welcome friends. This is Speedrun Ragnarok, and we are raising money for Take This, a wonderful mental health focused charity that does education, outreach, and advocacy. I did that poem perfectly. I used up all my skill points in the gaming community. So welcome in. Please get cozy with some just classic like adventure game times.
Yeah. So the Earth Elemental appears on day 12, but you don't want to go out until day 13 because its spawn rate in the city is higher on day 13. While we're out here, we're also going to mark the location of Aziza on the map, but then one of the reasons that I like running this category so much is because of a trick that is exclusive to this category. See, after I defeat the Earth Elemental, it is vital that I not enter the desert again until day 16. On day 14, the Water Elemental appears, which we will go ahead and blow out of the fountain, but we don't have to actually get that water skin containing her in it. We can just move on. So on night 15, the fighter gets to initiate into the Eternal Order of Fighters, or the Eternal Order of Toxic Masculinity, whatever. But there is a very difficult fight in this place, and 100% fighter runs used to hinge on being able to beat this fight, so we would have to train a lot in order to be able to win. But since I beat the Earth Elemental on day 13, a global variable has been set to set monster health to something other than 0, and since I haven't gone to the desert, it hasn't been reset. So when this fight initializes, he's gone.
I love it!
Oh, it's my favorite trick, and I love getting to show it off. Day 6.
See why.
Yeah, day 16 will be our last day in Shapir. Day 17 is when the caravan to our sister city, Razir, which is an anagram of Sierra. Day 17 is when we take that caravan. So we'll do a few quick things in the desert here. Go ahead and make this tree feel better by giving her some earth, some water, telling her about ourselves, and then reminding her that her name is Julinar. And also give her a hug. Feels all good there.
Sometimes all you need is a hug.
Yeah, she gives us the Fruit of Compassion, which is another ingredient that we're going to need for a Dispel Potion. But first things first, finish up a few loose ends in Shapir here. So the apothecary here will make the Dispel Potion for us. I think my point total looks good. I actually borrowed a sword from the paladin in the city to beat the earth elemental, so I need to go ahead and give it back. Oh wait, that's not the right input. I meant to do that. There we go. Yeah, that point total looks good. I took a little too much damage there. That's alright though. With the Dispel Potion, you then go back into the desert because there is a monster in a cage out here that wants to be restored back to human form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. The next thing that's kind of coming up, the Enchantress Aziz. Oh. That's the wrong set of inputs. That's right, I've got an extra potion to spare. Sometimes I mix up inputs in my head when trying to talk while running. The Enchantress Aziza is in the city somewhere, and we are supposed to visit her. But in normal gameplay, there would be at least 2 different visits. One for her to tell us about the tree in the desert, and then one for her to tell us that the source that we bought is actually the Emir. It's possible to combine these 2 visits if you do things just exactly right. So I'm going to be setting up for that right here. But first things first, Omar lost his purse. Give it back. You want to pass time in the city exactly right so that it is still day 16 as you knock on her door. But then I want to slow time down just a bit and have it roll over to day 17. There we go, that did it. So yeah, that cuts out most of the day 16 cutscene and gets us back to our regular visit. So doing that allows us to cut down 2 visits to 1. It's a neat little skip. But then we're going to go straight to Razir. So coming up is one of the main reasons that most runners do not run this game, because we're going to arrive in Razir on mid-afternoon of day 27. But in order to advance the plot, we need to sleep in our room, which is not open until night. I have the game time scale set to fastest, but even on fastest, it's going to take somewhere around 4 minutes normally for our room to actually open, except that the tool-assisted speedrun has a way to speed up time, and we have figured out how to reproduce that in RTA, so I'm going to be focusing on that just a bit. 1.2 seconds here. I might have been a little bit early on that. 8.7 seconds after the split. I do have a separate timer running on my end, just so I can actually time all this stuff out. But basically what's going to be happening is that on each screen transition, the in-game clock is either snapping forward or snapping backward 1 unit. Normally we wouldn't be able to figure out which one it's doing, but the Razir Caravan cutscene actually tells us not only exactly what time it is, but also where the full second frame rule that time ticks on is. So I can, each time I'm doing this, I should be inching time forward just a bit by like 1 unit every screen transition. The fountain is the easier way to do this, but there's a faster one near the gate. Skip a beat here because weird things happen when you do screen transitions exactly on the hour. Um, Moving up and down like this does save about a minute, and I'm actually going to keep this going until about 2 minutes on the clock because I did not double check my vitality, so I have no idea if it's in a good place. Because we are going to go to the tavern and then take a drink, and that drink is not a good drink. It's going to pass time, but how much time it passes depends on our vitality. And if we're at 75 plus vitality, then it's only going to pass 2 in-game hours. But if our vitality is lower than that, it's going to pass 3 hours. So we don't want vitality to hit 75. It started at 70, so with a fighter run, there's always a chance that it got that high, and it's not good when it does. I should have just a couple more screen transitions here. Yeah, alright, go back to the inn. We'll find out in a bit whether or not this whole thing worked. But safety save here, just to make sure I don't get a game over here. Go ahead and sip this. That was the dialogue box for 3 hours. So it's not going to be nighttime yet because I actually ended the time manipulation early because I've only gotten 1 random encounter out in the desert. There's still 4 more that I need to deal with. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be fighting the rest of the monsters here. Since a full 3 hours passed, you'll probably see it turn to nighttime right after this first monster is dealt with, if the time manipulation worked. Because 2 of the monsters only appear at night, and also I've been putting off most of these battles until now. Perfect. So that I don't risk my vitality actually going higher. I picked up some healing items from the apothecary so that even though I'm a little under-leveled for these fights... Wait a minute. I want the arcade difficulty on hardest when I enter the desert. Yeah. Having healing items around will allow you to deal with most of these encounters. There should be 3 more fights, so I think for now, this is a good time if you've got anything.
Yeah, actually, Trainer Anade in chat just linked to our prize sheet. So I'll talk a little bit about our prizes. The way it works is that if you donate on a given day, you're entered into for the chance to win one of a few prizes that we have for today. You can win we have 2 Steam keys, one for Lumbear Jack, which we saw earlier this morning. Also one for Monster Sanctuary. You also could get a beautiful Perler of Terra from Final Fantasy VI made by RPG Chick. Or you could get a face mask from Take This. I have one of these face masks. They're actually super duper comfy. So that's a really great prize. And with a lot of the Take This prizes, usually you can only get those if you can find them at a convention. Though I believe they now have a small store over at takethis.org where you can get some of their wonderful merchandise.
I think I reset the encounter timer here accidentally.
Oh no!
That's alright. Just a little bit of time loss, but it'll be fine. 1 monster left, the Pterosaurus. Probably the toughest one. One thing I have not mentioned yet is that I've been exclusively using stabs in combat. Your weapon accuracy is well, it's a weighted average of several stats, with weapon use and agility being the most impactful ones. It sets your attack level to something specific. The difference between your attack level and their defense level determines what % chance you have to hit the enemy in combat. If your attack level matches their defense level, then it's a 50% hit chance. But your hit chance is always at minimum 20 and at maximum 80%. But stabs have +10 accuracy over other moves. Also, Pterosaurus here is very difficult. Once he gets going, it's usually best to run away and get a chance. He's being mean today.
Parasaur, please.
Yeah, most PB attempts, if they get to this point, live or die by how well your fights go in the desert. There we go, he's gone now. That's every monster, and my point total looks good. So it is illegal to be out at night in Razir, so they're going to kick us straight back to the inn, and the only thing we can do at this point is then to go back to sleep.
Aw, we had such a cool room at the other inn. It looked all cozy with lots of blankets. This one's kind of sad by comparison.
It is a little bit. There's another short little skip coming up here. There's going to be a cutscene here where some stuff happens. Usually when we screen transition downward, we can see some guards walking off, but we have to wait 4 seconds for that script to disappear before we can then leave the screen again. But if we set the clock just right by escape here, then we might be able to skip that scene initializing. Yeah, I got it. Which leads us to this room where the Emir's daughter wants to escape the city. So we're going to give her our spare change of clothes and our visa so that she can get out of the city, escape looking like us, and she doesn't have to stick around.
I like how she also had a matching wig.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's awfully convenient.
Super convenient.
Yeah. So day 28 runs into the same issue as day 27, which is that there's nothing to do in the city, and this time you can't even get out because you've given away your visa. Your room at the inn doesn't open until night, and on this day it will take about 5.5 minutes if you wait outside. Even if you did time manipulation strats, you would save at most 2 minutes, so it would take like 3.5 minutes out there. But if you wait in this room long enough, then you will instead get captured by guards, thrown directly into the dungeons, and you can progress the plot that way. In this room, it's 3 minutes. So we've got some time.
Oh, we get nice chill time with everything's so pretty. I know a couple people have commented about like how lovely this game is, and yeah, this is such a fun era of video games. So how about this? I will go over the incentives that we have open at the moment. So we have, and these are both for runs happening tomorrow. We have 2 targets to hit. First one is for the, let me double check, make sure about the schedule for. Yes. So first up, we're going to have, for the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster Fabul Gauntlet Randomizer, we have an incentive to up the monster difficulty, if you would like. We also have one for Final Fantasy Legend 2 to sell the Micron and make our runners have to take a major time loss. So both of those are pretty fun if you want to see more of those games. For this evening, we have for Phantasy Star 4, you get to choose the party between Team C and Team S. You also can name the protagonist in Mystic Quest. Got a couple different naming options available for you there. And then for Final Fantasy Legend 2, we have the Good Taste versus Bad Taste bid war coming back again. That's always a really, really fun time, deciding what kind of palettes we'll have to have on screen. And then for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, at the end of the day tomorrow, we have options for both the harp song, which you can have either a lively song or a mournful song. And for the Zoroma sprite, you can have the Zoroma sprite be either art or music. What does that mean? You'll have to donate to find out. But trust me, it's really, really fun. I can say that as the sprite artist.
Yeah, I think the music is coming right up on capture here. So we should be getting captured, yeah, right about now.
Oh, nicely timed. Good job.
Yeah.
Cat friend.
Yeah, we're gonna help him get out of jail. Turning isn't walking. We can do that to go right over this threshold. We're going to go to the Lost City in the middle of a desert to get a forbidden, dangerous artifact that's going to nearly doom the world. When you go inside there, the cave is going to be dark, and you're normally expected to light a lamp before you can move around again. And the game does actually lock movement with the keyboard to prevent you from going anywhere until you light the lamp. But there's a neat trick that was discovered recently. They forgot to lock movement with the mouse. So we're going to click off into the darkness here, and then boom, we just end up on this other screen here. We don't have to light the lamp at all. Then turning isn't walking is going to become our friend again in this room, because as it turns out, hold on a sec, I need to, yeah, the lava is floor. We can just walk right over it if we do turning isn't walking to just go right over the damage threshold. Yeah, that used to be the most difficult room in the run, but then somebody figured out how to just walk over the lava, and so now we don't have to deal with that room as much anymore.
Oh, that seemed like a bad guy. Was that a bad guy?
That was a bad guy. He took the dangerous artifact from us, so we're gonna have to go and let's see. Make 3 wishes to this genie. Third one has to be to escape. I've wished for increased weapon use and agility to make sure I'm better at combat. So, oh yeah, there's a funny little bug here. The magic shop owner sells a magic rope. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make sure my stats are tip-top for this. He sells a magic rope that I never bought, but this screen doesn't check to see if you actually bought it if you say you want to use it, so I've just used a magic rope that I don't have. But then we do have a combat here with the captain of the guard, but you have to go ahead and let him disarm you first, because you're then going to disarm him, and you get paladin points for telling him to pick up his weapon and continue fighting. But then we're gonna just try to keep stabbing at him. He's being most unkind today. Come on, you. A good fight will usually have me knocking him over before I run out of stamina, but I've run out of stamina.
Oh no!
He's dead though. So that's going to bring us very close to time here. Time's going to be when we push this bad guy off of the ledge, where we just run right up to him. Time.
We did it! Hooray!
Yeah, you can see at the top 480 of 500 points. That's 100% because we're going to get an additional 20 points for the end game ceremony, and then an additional 50 once we become paladin during the end game ceremony. So depending on how timing is, we don't have to watch this ending cutscene. We can cut out early if you need to move on to the next run, or we can wait it out. It's going to be like a minute or two to see the final score. Which will it be?
I think we can wait the minute for that. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, this is another reason that most runners do the fan remake, because a lot of us do collection runs where we run one character through all 5 games. People. Yeah, the cat people. A lot of us do...
We get to see them. They're so cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of us do collection runs where we run one character through all 5 games, and part of the reason that the fan remake is run so often is because it's faster, both because the weights we were dealing with in Razier aren't a thing in the remake, but also this ending's a lot faster in the remake. Just all around, the remake's faster in every single category except maybe the one that I just did, because combat's slow in the remake, but everything else faster. We'll start to be able to skip text boxes here once we get to the Emir's daughter who we helped escape. She'll be the 4th person. I'm not sure why the text boxes are locked now and then unlock later.
Probably another thing where they missed a flag somewhere.
They probably missed something.
I mean, I really like the magic rope being a glitch. Because it's magic.
Sure, that'll explain it.
It totally explains it.
It came to me in my moment of need.
Yeah.
I shall speak for turning isn't walking. The Enchantress Aziza. She's awesome. She is a powerful sorceress who doesn't really need anyone. She's very cool.
For chat, I will do my best. I shall speak, for turning isn't walking. Oh, we even got a cheek touch. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, but we can go ahead and skip these text boxes now. She's going to speak for us because we helped her escape. Then it turns out our Saurus is actually the Emir transformed. Not her dad, her uncle. And then the Sultan will actually adopt us. And then if we did everything right, then Rakesh will then step forward and give us his sword. Yeah, here we go. You are a paladin now.
Is that the sword of Fundera? Are we a Thundercat?
I'm not sure yet.
Fair.
But I am faster than Chitara.
You are indeed.
Score of 550 of 550. There we go. That's 100%.
Beautiful.
So that's going to be it for me.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this game with us. Your runs of this game and like the other games in the Quest for Glory series are always fantastic. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shout out Santa Claus 586, who is in chat, because he was responsible for rerouting a lot of these 100% runs and then just making them even more efficient. I'm also going to shout out SwimFan and Kane Craft, because they discovered a lot of the new tricks that we have been using recently. Kane Craft in particular is responsible for applying turning isn't walking in lots of places that it shouldn't work.
Thank you so much for all the shouts for the wonderful game, and we'll be back real quick with an interview with Dr. Kelly Dunlap, which is it's going to be really fantastic.